Hi, it's Friday, 31st of October, and welcome to my thoughts vlog for this week. As usual, it's unscripted, etc. Well, today's a very special day. Not only is it Halloween, it's my birthday. So yes, another year older. I still look young, I appreciate that. But I'm not. Um, this week is another Q&A special. Been asked some good questions, so yeah, I'll crack on. The first question, well, that's made me think a bit actually. Um, as a disabled father, what are the struggles you face with your young child? Well, yeah, being disabled does put a slightly different slant on it, I guess. But as with everything, you kind of learn to adapt. The main things at the moment are the fact that, uh, and these are things that I wish I could do, was I'd like to be able to, go out and play football with him and pick him up and carry him and put him on my shoulders and all the things that you see dads do, but I can't do that. So yeah, they're the kind of things I would miss out on doing, but I kind of try and make up for it in other ways. um I'm with him all the time, apart from when he's at school, which I think is great. So for bonding purposes, I think we're absolutely brilliant together. I do talk to him an awful lot, pretty much constantly, because he's a chatterbox and I like to talk. So I hope what maybe I can't do physically, I make up for in other ways. I am always here. I am talkative with him, and I like giving him lots of cuddles. So I think the main thing is to let him know that he is absolutely loved, uh, and I think the world of him. And I think that's the important thing for kids. They've got to know that they're loved. And I hope when he looks back, when he's older, he'll see that and remember me in good ways. I think that probably the bigger struggles that will come, or the bigger questions will come later on. I mean, I've still got to sort of go through the process of at some point talking to him when he realizes that daddy's different. I'm not like the other daddies at school, and that's not happened yet. He's only 4, but that will come, and I'll just have to deal with it. I think as long as he likes me, then I don't think that should be that much of an issue. But it's probably something that would weigh on my mind more than his, definitely. The other thing that does worry me about raising a child is bullying. Basically, that they will get bullied because of who their dad is and what their dad is, and that concerns me a lot because bullying is a horrific thing to happen to any child, and I don't think we can underestimate how much effect that can have on a child. So if that happens, and I hope it's if, not when, um, I hope he tells me. I'm going to have to encourage him to do that, and I'll have to work with the school. How I deal with it, I don't know. I know how I'd want to deal with it, um, but I'd have to agree that with the school, and that would be almost like restorative justice, where I could maybe go in and talk to the children that are bullying him. Um, Obviously not shout and bawl at them, but just say, look, if you've got any questions, fire away. Instead of saying it to Sasha, say it to me. And I hope that would. I don't know, but again, it's got to depend on the age of the child, I suppose. But that's something I'll probably have to take advice on later on down the line. But for now, he's loved and we're having fun. That's the main thing. Uh, so, next question. And this is a good one. I've been asked this before, and it's one that makes me, yeah, it's interesting. And it is, would I go to Maralinga? And instantly I want to say yes, absolutely. I would love to go. A, I'd love to go to Australia, or B, I would love to go to where Dad served, and because I know a lot of the buildings are still there because of the climate. The buildings have survived and they're pretty much intact. And in some of the photos, they look like as the same as the day my dad left. But it would be interesting to see the environment that he lived in and worked in, and to see the living accommodation and the buildings that they inhabited. I think that would be nice. Not just because he's my dad, but also from a historical point of view. You know, I have to go and visit where history was made. The downside of that is I'm aware of radiation, and that place is probably still quite radioactive, and I've got to be aware of my health. And obviously, I can't go to these places on my own, so probably my wife and son will be with me, and I'm guessing by that time my second child. So I have to weigh it up. You know, my desire to see Maralinga over exposing myself and my family to radiation. And I think ultimately I'd have to, again, take advice on that about, I mean, there is no safe level of radiation, despite what the government would tell you. But it is something I'd have to consider. And when it comes to health, I suppose because of my history, I know that that's one of the most important things you can have. So I think the answer would be me on my own, I'd do it. But would I take my family? Probably not. So I think it might be I don't think any of us will go, even though I want to. But yeah, again, it's something I'd have to explore, but my heart of hearts, I think it will be a no. And the third question, again, a pretty important one, is, okay, oh, my phone's locked. Money no object, 3 dream cars. Now, I am a bit of a car enthusiast, so this is something I've thought about a lot, but I normally have a 5-car garage in mind, but to do a 3-car garage, that's chopping off 2 of your favourites. But I have come to an answer. So gone is the Bentley Flying Spur. Gone is the Lancia Delta Integrale. And what we are left with, and this might be a cheat, this first one, it's the Land Rover Forward Control 101. But the question is that a car? Now, if it isn't, then it would be any Land Rover Defender, and I mean any. So that's that's garage 1 filled. Garage 2, for this I move into the modern era, as in brand new. I buy this brand new, and it would be a BMW M5 competition. Yeah, just that blend of, I mean, I like BMWs. I've got one. I've had it for longer than I care to remember, probably about 14, 15 years. And it's been the most reliable car I've ever had. It's fantastic. And it is a 5 Series, and of course, you always want the M5. If you have a 5 Series, you want the M5. So yeah, it would be the M5, a brand new one. They're comfortable, they're quick, and they look amazing. They sound amazing as well. So yeah, get one of them before everything becomes electric. So for the last one, I would revisit my youth, and this is a car I've always wanted. I have seen one once, and that was Gulliver's World in Warrington, of all places. It was on the car park, so I got out of my car and had a little look. But what a car! And it is a Lotus Carlton, the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton. What an absolute beast of a car! I mean, it looks $1 million, and it goes like that too. But yeah, it's an icon. It kind of says what the 90s car revolution was all about, and it kind of killed the 90s car revolution, because it was that car that put all the insurance premiums when they went from being reasonable to crazy. So you buy a GTI and your insurance went through the roof. And it was all because of Lewis Carlton, I believe. It was even they even talked about banning it in Parliament because basically the police had nothing that could catch it. And there are videos on YouTube of them outrunning police cars, literally leaving them for dead. But I mean, speed aside, it was just an engineering masterpiece, and it looked fantastic. So yeah, that would be my 3-car garage: the Land Rover Forward Control, the BMW M5, and the Lotus Carlton. So yes, that's my questions for today. As I said, it's my birthday, so I'm going to have a lovely weekend with the family. Have a nice little birthday weekend, because it's always good having a birthday on a Friday or a Saturday. So yeah, and if you're having a Halloween party, then yeah, enjoy it. Because Halloween, I think, is a great festival. Love it. So yeah, enjoy yourselves, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye.